Good morning, Kingsville. This is Kimberly DeYoung, Deputy Mayor for the town of Kingsville. It is Friday, January 16th, I believe. My apologies in advance if this is rambly, but I just wanted to, just putting it out there live. This is not going to be edited or anything, so if I have any mistakes in this, I'm sure someone will let me know. Purpose for today is something is on our agenda for Monday night that I know the public is going to be interested in. This has been a hot topic for many, many years, and it is pertaining to the school properties. Most of you probably know that the last two school properties, KDHS and KPS, are on the market, available for open bid. Very brief history. You know, since before I got on council, since before last term, it's been known that a new mega school was going to be built. The municipality has expressed interest in the school properties for probably the last decade. And it just, you know, the new build was delayed getting open, and finally it opened. And around that same time, the province changed the procedure, the policy regarding purchasing school properties. Municipalities used to have one of the first rights of refusal. I think after school use, it was up to municipalities to pay full market value. They could buy the school. Those rules changed, and the municipality could only get first right of refusal if they were using it for provincial priority. So when it came time to deal with that change, the municipality, town of Kingsville, was looking for answers. What does that all mean? I can tell you we got bounced around a lot between different ministries and the school board and whatnot because it wasn't clear. It was a new policy. When that finally did get sorted, we were presented with the opportunity to express that we were interested in an expression of interest. We did provide that expression of interest, explaining that the provincial priority that we were interested in using the properties for was affordable housing. The affordable housing would have also gone along with municipal use. It's no secret that the municipality is looking for a future home for town hall. So, you know, you've seen this been discussed around. The mayor presented his thoughts on the school property. KPS would have been great to have a bunch of green space, still public municipal use in addition to affordable housing. So, you know, we still weren't sure what that would look like because we have two neighbors on both sides of us, both Harrow and Leamington went down that path. Of course, before the change, they were able to buy those schools under the old policy. Pretty sure Leamington had a whole deal done for some housing. I don't know if it was entirely affordable, but it certainly was a higher density. It was certainly meant to be lower cost housing. And I think that my understanding is that whole deal fell through, that the developer that they had, because they put out a whole RFP, the whole plan was out there, and I think the developer was like, this is not enough for us to pursue, and they backed out, is how I understand it. Harrow put out RFPs trying to get interest in affordable housing and didn't get anybody interested. So, you know, saying you're going to do a provincial priority of affordable housing is one thing. How that's going to happen, nobody's really seen yet, or at least to my knowledge, nobody's seen yet how. And I suspect it's because the cost of building housing is more than the formula for making it affordable, quite simply. So without provincial or federal dollars, it's not clear how that will happen. So fast forward to us putting in our expression of interest that we want to follow that provincial priority, and our expression of interest was denied. That's all we know. It was denied. We don't know why. We've asked why. We don't know why. So now the properties go out onto the open market, and this brings me to our meeting agenda on Monday. So I'll read you what the item is. This is a public agenda. You can go on the town's website and read it. So it's under section O, number 3. Potential acquisition of the former school properties. The council, this is the recommended action. The council directs administration to submit a bid to purchase Kingsville District High School, conditional on approval at a future public council meeting with transparency with respect to the price and any other major terms and conditions. So of course we won't be talking dollars at this public meeting, because if we're putting in a bid and we want to win, we're not going to tell people what our bid is. But this is up for debate and direction on Monday. So I just wanted the public to know, if you are not following the agenda, you should subscribe to getting these agendas sent to you so that you too know this stuff. And, you know, the KPS is not on this. It's only KDHS that we're looking at. You can go back in time. This has, again, been discussed since before my time on council, but since this term, there is on Have Your Say Kingsville. Recommend you go there because it has the school property information. I'll switch this around and show you. On Have Your Say Kingsville, there is the Future of School Properties tab on here, and it has the whole history of this term of dealing with this issue. There's been 244 responses so far, but within here are links to different reports, different things that we have learned. This is the place where we have kept the public up to date with what we've learned as the process changes. It really shouldn't come as any surprise that the school properties are of interest. It's on our strategic plan, which has been out for several years. And really, I think at this point, in an open bid, it's really just, who knows? Like, if the town wins it, then we'll have to have it back to council for final approval. If we don't, then we move on and, you know, hope that whoever does get it has our town's best interest. Because remember, we do not have control over design. We have very little control over what goes on properties these days, thanks to some provincial changes for that too. So that's about it for me today. Go on to Have Your Say Kingsville, look up the school properties, look at the history. If you want to let council know your thoughts on this, always council@kingsville.ca. That's the email that goes to all of us. If you feel so inclined to speak on it, get in touch with the clerk. I think you have until 11 or 12 on Monday, and come and speak to council on it. I've heard from a lot of residents on this, both sides. Some people want us to purchase it because they want to, you know, have some say on what happens there. Others don't want us to touch it at all. So it's definitely a mixed bag. There is 15 acres there and lots of potential. Of course, Migration Hall sits right in the middle. And I'll tell you, when I say that this has been on our radar for ages, last term, I attended delegations at the provincial level asking the province to recognize the town's contribution to Migration Hall by letting it be a separate piece of property, letting the town have it for a discount. All of this totally disregarded by the province. In the eyes, and I know this is still a hot topic and people say that, but in the eyes of the province and the school board, Migration Hall and any contribution made by the community or the town was a gift. And that gift was given, and there is no security made that we would be able to retain it or get anything back from it. So that door is closed. We have looked into that a lot last term and this term. That's the way it is, unfortunately. You know, the community was a little more handshake, and nobody really thought at that time about KDHS moving. So our access to Migration Hall was guaranteed as long as that property was school board property. And now it won't be. So that's it from me. Have a fabulous weekend, everyone. Take